Hello and welcome to Guns and Gear, and this is going to be my second attempt at showing y'all my new Tomahawk. I made a video while I was camping and I thought it was a pretty good video. I was throwing my Tomahawk in the tree, I didn't even miss, and was explaining or talking about my new Tomahawk, and what you know what, the battery was dead, and that was all for nothing. So I'm going to do a kitchen top table showing of my new Tomahawk. Alright, but first let me give you a little bit of background, as I often like to give background on things. You know, the types of Tomahawks that I apparently like are basically belt axes or rifleman's hawk type of Tomahawks, and both of these are an example of that right there. I have another one. I have decent handful of Tomahawks, and here's one that was actually a recreation of a rifleman's hawk that was used by both the British Army and the American colonials during the Revolutionary War. And actually there were several armies in Europe that used similar type of implements as this for both camp chores and for fighting. Okay. Now this is called a pole axe, okay, and that's because it has an extended pole on there that can be used for hammering, and that makes it very useful for camp chores like hammering down tent pegs and things of that nature. And I tell you what, I don't know if it's because watching Davy Crockett and Daniel Boone when I was a kid or what, but I always wanted a good Tomahawk. Now, I think I've showed the hatchet that I bought for my grandson in an earlier vid, and here's mine right here. This is one that my dad gave me when I was a small boy, and this is made by Norlin. Okay, and they make a really good quality axe products like hatchets and small axes and things of that nature. This one right here, to be honest with you, I just had to have when I was a kid, because the head shape, which is a Hudson Bay design, reminded me of a Tomahawk. Okay, and this happens to be, by the way, the last handle that I have. I don't know what I'm going to do if I ever break this one, but anyway, I guess that became my love affair with Tomahawks. Now, 8, 9, 10 years ago, I had a buddy of mine who had a really nice, high-quality custom Tomahawk. We were doing some backpacking, and he broke his out, and actually back then I had this one right here, and we were taking care of our chores, and we got the camp set up, and we were throwing our Tomahawks in a tree, and I was looking at his Tomahawk, and I really just I was very, very impressed with it, the quality of the workmanship. Okay, and that's how I became introduced to 2hawks design Tomahawks. Now I believe his name was Bob 2hawks Tallman, and he had a small business of making Tomahawks, and he had built up quite a reputation for building very high quality Tomahawks. And that was one just like this is what my friend had. And this, by the way, is called the Long Hunter. Okay, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a minute. Now, I just watched a video maybe 3, 4, 5 weeks back from Dave Canterbury over at Wilderness Outfitters, and he was introducing the Wilderness Tomahawk, and he had a Tomahawk that looked almost identical to this one right here, and I kind of remembered the design because of how it comes across straight like this and the edge tapers down, as being one that looked like my friend's. So I got on the phone and I called up 2hawks, and sure enough, that was hawks that were made for Dave Canterbury. And I got to talking with him, the guy that owns the business now, because Mr. Tallman has passed away. I think he passed away in 2005. The business was bought by a gentleman named Devin Price. Okay, and you can see he has a full line of knives and Hawks at www.2hawks.net. Now, I don't often, or I should say I have never really given a plug for somebody before, almost like a commercial, but these are the best quality tomahawks I've ever come across. And I'm not going to, he makes these things, they're all handmade, hand forged, and I tell you what, they are just superb quality. Now, I got to use this thing on that last trip, and I beat on it a little bit, and not nearly as much as it's going to be beat on. But when I ordered this one, I also wanted to order a larger model that he made, and that happens to be this one right here. And this one here is called the Voyager, okay? And it's a much larger head, and it has a larger, longer face or edge, and it goes about 3 3/4 inches, okay? Now we're starting to get into, you know, something more the size of a hatchet, but with the long, slender handle of a tomahawk. And a really cool thing about tomahawks over hatchets and axes are you can knock the head off of the pole and carry them separately and pack them in your pack. Okay, so pretty cool design. Love tomahawks. Love them. Alright, well, if I was going to tell you something that I didn't particularly like about 2hawks tomahawks, it would be the optional sheath that you can purchase. Now, this is a little affair. This fits over the blade edge, as you can see, and this is a little belt loop thing that you can stick your tomahawk in and carry. And I don't like the snaps, you know, and I don't like this type of sheath, okay? I can just picture myself losing my tomahawk going through some thick brush. May never happen, but at any rate, I prefer this type of sheath. Okay, this is a sheath for my axe, my little hatchet there, and the hatchet fits through the top. All right, and it is very secure in here. There's no way that's going to fall out of that. And this particular sheath has 2 D-rings on the back that you can tie it to a horse or tie it to your backpack, or you can even run some string or paracord or whatever you have and make something to carry it off of your belt. But I just think that's a much better way of doing it. So if I was going to say anything negative about Devin Price and his work, it's the design of the sheath. Now, the sheath itself and this little carrying loop, as you can see, is very quality built, and they're good, strong snaps that he uses. And you know, it really is quality leather work. I just don't particularly care for the design. And some of you folks may like that, but you know, to each their own. All right, folks, that's my video showing y'all, I guess, both of my new tomahawks. When next camping trip I go on, I'm going to carry this one and try to begin to put it through its paces. I'm really looking forward to the extra head weight providing some better chopping power. Although for most camping trips, this does just fine. Alright guys, I appreciate you watching my videos. And as always, remember, shoot straight on the range and in life. Thanks.